No matter how many times I call her name, Mayuri doesn't answer. Mayuri's standing in front of a grave, gazing at the sky. The grave belongs to her grandmother, who died when Mayuri was 11 years old. Her parents were always busy with work, so her grandmother was her only companion. I was close to Mayuri's family, so her death was sad for me too. At the wake, I expected Mayuri to break down and cry. She didn't. Instead, she spent the whole time gazing vacantly at her grandmother's memorial portrait. 6 months went by. I had advanced to middle school, so Mayuri and I no longer commuted together. But whenever I passed the cemetery on the way home, Mayuri would always be standing there. Every day, rain or shine, she would stand for hours before her grave, staring wordlessly at the sky as if she could see her grandmother in heaven. In her hands, an old pocket watch. The watch had belonged to her grandmother. Mayuri always held it when visiting the grave. No matter how many times I called her name, Mayuri did not answer. Back then, Mayuri wouldn't talk to anyone, not to me, not even to her parents. Whenever I saw her standing there staring at the sky, I felt unease grip my heart. Her gaze was so earnest, her intention so pure, that I feared some power might grant her wish and carry her off to heaven to join her beloved grandmother. And so to ensure nothing like that happened, I made sure to stop by the cemetery every day. I would stand next to the sky-gazing Mayuri and call her name. But no matter how many times I'd call her, Mayuri wouldn't reply. The only sound in the lonely cemetery was the echo of my voice calling her name. It was raining that day too. Mayuri had a light blue umbrella. In contrast to the umbrella's color, the sky was glazed gray, covered in clouds. After a while, the rain stopped. Rays of light shone through gaps in the clouds, a stunningly beautiful sight. Rembrandt's rays, they are called, or sometimes the angel's ladder. Suddenly, a strong wind swept through the cemetery. It caught Mayuri's umbrella and carried it to the sky. Mayuri seemed not to notice. She kept staring at the sky. And then slowly, so very slowly, she stretched her hand out to the sky, as if to grasp the rays of light, as if her grandmother were reaching down to pull her up. And then she lifted herself on her toes. To me, it looked as if she was floating up towards heaven. Impulsively, I grabbed Mayuri's outstretched hand and pulled her into my embrace. In retrospect, my fears were just a childish fantasy, but at the time, I truly believed that Mayuri might vanish. I realized how embarrassing the words coming from my own mouth were.
マユリは俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。
It was the first excuse that came to mind. Before her grandmother died, Mayuri and I were fans of a popular TV series about costumed heroes battling evil. I particularly admired the villain, the mad scientist. I even got pretty good at mimicking his lines. Now I was doing it to hide my embarrassment. I could feel my face growing red, but I kept up the mad scientist act all the same. If nothing else, it was better than admitting my insecurities.
どこにも逃がさないからな。
As I said this, I realized that Mayuri was shaking. She whispered. It was the first time in 6 months that I heard her speak. Her voice was choked with tears. She smiled happily. Tears fell from her eyes. And then Mayuri buried her face in my chest. Where am I? Who am I? I can't see. I can barely think. A terrible screech fills my head, like feedback from a giant speaker. It penetrates my brain like 100 sharp needles, stabbing me right behind the eyes. I thought brains weren't supposed to feel pain. And there's more. I feel a shiver of pleasure beneath the pain, and a terrible itching like my body's on fire. I want to crack open my skull and tear out my brain. I want to scrape out my soft gray matter with my fingers and eat it. The assault on my brain is driving me crazy. Who am I? Suddenly, the shattered pieces of the world reform. I slowly come back to my senses. I'm in the lab, standing in front of the phone wave, name subject to change, with my cell phone to my ear. No, not the phone wave, name subject to change. Since the headgear is attached to it, it's the time leap machine. It's hard to breathe. Give me oxygen! I hear a low wheezing groan and realize that it's coming from my own throat. I close my mouth, then take a deep breath. The insides of my throat feel like they're burning. I resist the urge to cough and continue filling my lungs with air. I notice that I'm drenched in sweat. The drops sliding down my forehead are annoying. I try to wipe them away with the back of my right hand. My hand obeys, slowly. Something's off. It's like my body and my mind aren't totally in sync with each other. Almost as if this isn't really my body. As if my nerves aren't communicating properly with my extremities. I try blinking slowly. This might be just my imagination. Could this be exhaustion? I haven't slept much lately. I try to move my hand again. There is no disconnect this time. This is my body. A familiar voice. I turn around slowly. Kurisu's there. She stares at me, perplexed. What is she talking about? I try answering, but my voice doesn't work too well. Even more bewildered, I clear my throat several times.
いや問題ない。
そうだったらさっさと出かける準備しなさいよ。買い出し行くんでしょ。
買い出し
For what? I search my memories. The moment I do, images appear in my mind like a string of exploding light bulbs.
人間は根源的に時間的存在者である。
もう大丈夫だね。
I remember now. I used a time leap machine.
未来の記憶を思い出すのよ。
That's right! What am I standing around for?
ここはどこだ。
は？
I grab Carice's shoulders and pull her close.
今は何時だ。何月何日の何時何分だ。
痛い。落ち着け。
落ち着いていられるか。買い出しって言ったか。
Which shopping trip is she talking about? Dutter's sitting at his computer staring at us wide-eyed.
ダル、今日は何日だ。今は何時なんだ。
13日の5時ちょっと過ぎだけど。
The 13th, a little past 5.
成功したのか。マユリ、今どこに。
ただいま電話に出ることができません。
It went to voicemail?
ピーってなったら伝言をどうぞ。
マユリ、今すぐ俺に連絡をくれ。分かったな、今すぐだ。
I hang up. I look at my watch again. It's just past 5. Thank God for the time leap machine. It makes me shiver to imagine what would have happened without it. I have 3 hours until Mocha kills Mayuri. Everything's gonna be okay. That's plenty of time to escape. First, I'll meet up with Mayuri and leave Akiba. We can go to Ikebukuro. Wait, what if they're watching our house? Maybe we should hop the bullet train and get out of Tokyo entirely. Anyway, we're fine as long as Mocha doesn't find her today. So first, I need to find Mayuri.
岡部？目が血走っちゃってるけど、どうしたの？
Carice and Dutter look at me with concern.
二人とも今すぐここから離れろ。
どういうこと？
I check my wallet. I'll only have 9,000 yen and some change. I'll need to stop by an ATM and withdraw everything I have.
何よ、また中二病？
Carice shrugs her shoulders dumbfounded, but I don't have time to answer her. I slip beside her and dash out of the lab.
岡部、どこ行くのよ？おい！
I run full speed to Yanabayashi Shrine. Naturally, I have to stop for breath before I get more than a few blocks. The sun is setting, but the temperature still hasn't dropped below 30. Sweat quickly covers my entire body. I'm not good at exercise in the first place. I finally stagger through the archway. Now I regret not borrowing Suzuha's bicycle. But no, there wasn't time for that. Finding Mayuri comes first. I run to the courtyard, where I find Lukako standing alone with her bamboo broom.
ルカ子。
岡部さん、
She bows her head.
どうしたんです？
マユリはどこだ。
まゆりちゃんだったらもう帰りましたけど。
帰った。
はい。後でまゆりちゃんにごめんなさいって伝えてくれませんか？僕やっぱりどうしてもコスプレはできませんって断っちゃって、まゆりちゃんを悲しませたくはなかったんですけど、やっぱり人前に出るのは恥ずかしくて。
I finally catch my breath. I don't have time to listen to Lukako's apologies.
マユリは帰ったんだな。
はい。
That doesn't make sense. I know she comes to the lab around 6:30. It's still 5:30. No matter how slowly you walk, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to get to the lab. So what was she doing for the extra 40 minutes? We don't have time for this.
本当に帰ったのか？どこかへ寄るとは言っていなかったか？
いえ、聞いてませんけど。岡部さん、一体何が？
もし真由里がここに戻ってきたら、すぐに俺に電話するように伝えるんだ。
はい。
I'd better check the lab. We might have missed each other. When I get back to the lab, nobody's there but Daru. Did Kurisu go shopping by herself? I call out to him as he's ordering pizza on the computer.
真由里は帰ってきてるか？
え、いや。
あいつどこへ？
I take a bottle of Dr. P out of the fridge and chug it down. The cold sparkling liquid wets my parched throat and drives the heat away. Now I can think. But I still can't relax. Every minute, every second is precious. Each moment I waste brings me closer to Mayuri's death.
オカリンさ、さっきからなんでそんなピリピリしてるん？
真由里の居場所を知らないか？
だからルカシのところっしょ？
いなかった。帰った後だった。
I start to pace in irritation.
じゃあ他のレイヤー仲間のところとか。
そのレイヤー仲間の連絡先を教えろ。
いや、知らんし。
Damn! It's easy to forget since she's usually here, but Mayuri and I rarely spend time together outside of the lab. May Queen and the shrine, that's about it. I have no idea where else she might go. May Queen doesn't even exist in this world line.
ああ、そういえば。
何か知っているのか？
携帯の電源が切れそうとか言ってたような気がする。
Yet another setback. Not only am I unable to contact her, she might not even notice my phone calls.
なあ、一体どうしたん？
誰？なぜここに残っている？今すぐラボを離れろと言ったはずだ。
I sit on the sofa. I feel the weight of stress on my shoulders and in my bones.
理由もなしにそんなこと言われてもわけわからんつうか。一体何が始まるんです？みたいな。
真由里が殺される。
は？
セルンが本気を出してきたんだ。あと2時間で奴らは襲撃をかけてくる。だからお前は逃げろ。
え、マジ？
クリスと連絡を取れるか？相手にもそう伝えるんだ。
あと2時間って、なんでオカリンはそれを知ってるわけよ。
Daru pauses for a moment. He looks towards the development room where the time leap machine is sitting.
まさか使ったん？
I nod gravely. I kick Daru out of the lab and send him home. He promised to call Kurisu for me and tell her to stay at her hotel, but a few minutes later, she calls me directly and demands an explanation. It takes some effort, but I manage to convince her to do as I say. Now I just need to wait for Mayuri to get back. I thought about looking for her, but it's too risky. We could miss each other like we did at the shrine. Better to wait for her here in front of the building. While waiting, I try to convince myself that everything will be okay. Mayuri returns to the lab at 6:30. That leaves about an hour before Morika's attack. In an hour, we could ride the bullet train from Tokyo Station to Shizuoka. Is that the best plan? Maybe we should get off Yokohama and lay low in a hotel for a while. I can think of what comes next after Mayuri's safe. The time leap machine doesn't matter. Morika can have it. My top priority is to prevent Mayuri's death. Sweat accumulates on my forehead and rolls down my face. Hurry back, Mayuri.
あれ？
Startled, I turn towards the voice. Suzuha and Mr. Braun have emerged from the Braun Tube workshop. I see them lock the door. Guess they're closing up shop. That's right, I forgot about Suzuha.
岡部倫太郎、そこで何してんの？
いや、
That reminds me. During the attack, she took down 5 armed commandos in the blink of an eye. I still can't believe it. Where does an 18-year-old learn to move like that? And then there was a strange behavior immediately before the attack. She left as soon as she heard about the bomb threat, almost as if she knew something was going to happen. And finally, there's that business with her father. Everything about her is a mystery. Well, who is Ominous Suzuha?
わかっちゃった。今日宴会やるらしいからその準備でしょ。
それを誰から聞いた？
椎名真由里、さっき顔見せてぜひ来てねって言ってたよ。つうわけで私もお邪魔することに。
ダメだ。
もしかして私邪魔だった？
いや、
まあ私もラボ面にしてもらったとはいえ所詮は部外者だしね。
そうじゃなくてだな。
だよ岡部、うちのバイトも仲間に入れてやれ。おめえはこいつに借りがあるんだろ。こいつのへそのおかげでおめえらがビル揺らすのも一応許してやったんだからな。
へそっておーい。
Suzu has recovered her jacket. She's properly dressed now.
このバイトなかなかいいへそだったぜ。腹周りがしっかり鍛えてあってキュッと引き締まってたな。
エロ親父、本人前にして語らないでよ。
今日の宴会は中止だ。だからバイト選手よ。悪いが今日は帰ってくれ。
中止なの？
ああ、すまない。
I attempt to smile, but with little hope of success.
岡部、何をしてんのかともかく、いざとなったら無茶だけはすんなよ。
え？
It's weird to have him give me advice. I thought he was just a dirty old man who loved CRTs. Maybe he's sharper than I thought. Or maybe he's just telling me to stop shaking the building.
マユリと喧嘩をしましてね。ちょっと参ってるんです。それだけですよ。
That's the best lie I can manage.
あ、じゃあまずいんじゃない？
Blood!
だってほら、あそこに。
Suzuha points across the street. I turn to look. To my surprise, there's Mayuri walking up the street with a big bag. When she notices us, she waves her hand with a ditzy smile. Mayuri!
あれ？喧嘩したんじゃないの？すごい笑顔だけど。
I ignore Suzuha and run to Mayuri. The clock on my phone says 6:33.
ちょっと、どうしたのよ？
I wasted precious time talking to Suzuha. Now that I've secured Mayuri, we need to get as far away from Akiba as we can.
オカリ、そんなに急いでどこ行くの？
I ignore her question and grab her hand.
走れ！駅に行く！
待って、荷物が。
構うな！とにかく走るのだ！
なんで？
いいから走ってくれ！
I can't get the image of Mayuri's death out of my mind. I won't let them kill her. I won't! Mayuri gives no further resistance. She follows me obediently, quickly matching my pace. I forgot that she's faster on her feet than I am.
ねえ、どこ行くの？
そうだな。とりあえず筑波が横浜あたりに。
I'm already gasping for air. Mayuri, however, might as well be strolling along for all the difficulty she's having. How can she be so ditzy yet so athletic at the same time? The sun is already set, but the sky is still a mix of indigo and orange. We run through streets lit by dazzling shops. Everything will be fine once we make it on the train. I hold this thought in my mind as we run. I'm already exhausted. Mayuri practically has to drag me along to keep going.
少しね、休んだ方がいいんじゃないかな。
電車に乗るまでは 走り続けろ。
I do my best to keep up the pace.
でもね、オカリンすごい汗だよ。運動苦手なのにね、無理すると。
When we reach the station, I realize that something's wrong. The station's packed! Seriously packed! You don't see this many people even at rush hour! The crowd is milling around the entrance. For some reason, it looks like no one is going in. What's going on here? A protest? Some kind of street performance? I don't have time for this! Just then, an announcement plays over the PA.
現在山手線、京浜東北線、総武線すべて運転を見合わせております。お急ぎのお客様には大変ご迷惑をおかけしておりますが、何卒ご理解のほど。
Finally, I realized my mistake. That's right. Before the attack, the trains were stopped by a bomb threat. No wonder there were so many people standing around. In my haste to flee the city, I completely forgot. How could I have been so stupid?
どうしたんだろうね。
All of the train lines have stopped. We can't escape Akiba. What about the other means of public transportation? The subway or the bus? Should we go to another station? I turn around and head back the way we came, keeping a firm grip on Mayuri's hand. But before we get more than a few steps, a man steps out of the crowd and blocks our way. I realize that we're surrounded.
岡部倫太郎だな。
A low voice. A face I've never seen. He's not one of the 5 who broke into the lab.
オカリン、この人たち、知り合い？
Mayuri grips my arm tightly as she looks anxiously at the men.
一緒に来てもらおうか。
誰だ？
Instead of answering, the man makes a grab for my arm. I jerk away and try to escape, but the men move to block us again.
抵抗するな、殺す。
セレンか？
They're with Moika! She must have planned for this in advance! A chill runs up my spine. We made a terrible mistake when we hacked into CERN. I realize that now, though it's far too late.
これだけ大勢の人がいる中で殺せるのか？
冗談だと思わないでください。
I feel something cold against my back. I don't realize what it is at first. Then it hits me. A gun. I gulp. My blood goes cold. Am I going to die here? Will my time leaping be all for naught? No, I can't give up. I won't let Mayuri die. I won't accept that future. But how do I get out of this? The crowd at the station has grown even thicker. People are starting to argue with the station personnel, demanding to know when they can go home. The situation's quickly becoming chaotic. Suddenly, a fight breaks out nearby. It looks like some people are trying to shove their way through. This could be our chance. A tide of people surges into us, knocking the man behind me off balance. Now! I quickly turn and strike the man's hands aside. His gun falls away. Then the man gets swallowed by the crowd.
マユリ、逃げるぞ！
I grab Mayuri's hand and start running. We have to fight our way through the crowd, but that also thwarts our pursuers. As soon as we reach the main street, we start running back towards the lab. Of course, we can't return to the lab itself. Moka's group will be there shortly. Is the subway still running? If we get on at Sue Hirocho station, we can take the Ginza line to Shibuya. From there, we can grab a train heading out of Tokyo. I still haven't recovered from my exhaustion. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. We can't stop now. I have to keep running. It doesn't take long before a new obstacle appears. 4 men walking up together ahead suddenly stop and turn to face us. I've got a bad feeling about this. They don't look like otaku. Are they with CERN too? My tears are confirmed when the 4 men start walking towards us, arms spread to block the street. No doubt about it. They're after us too! I turn to flee back towards the station, and there I see the first group of men closing in behind us. We're trapped! enemies on both sides. There's only one choice. I grab Mayuri and make for the nearby side street. I'm trying to get to Suehiocho Station without using the main streets. But as we pass UPX, several men on the bridge point at us and shout something. Are they with CERN too? How many men do they have? We turn back and change course.
いいか、前よりお前の方が足が速いから。
Talking while running uses up all my breath. Sweat drips into my eyes, making it hard to see.
お前だけでも逃げろ。はぐれたら袋の岸文字に行け。そこで。
Before I finish, I catch sight of another group of men waiting for us up ahead. I look back. The group from before is chasing us. We're surrounded by enemies. The familiar streets of Akiba are filled with agents of CERN. I recall what Moeka said.
あなたたちの逃げ場はないわ。私たちの仲間はすでに秋葉原中に散らばっている。
Despair seizes my heart. Is escape impossible? We're just kids playing at science in the safety of our tiny little lab. Our enemy is a multinational conspiracy willing to kill anyone who gets in their way. Were we doomed from the start? No. No matter what, we must get away. Leading Mayuri by the hand, I push my way through the crowd, then jump the fence onto the road. Something strikes me with crushing force, sending me tumbling across the pavement. I come to a stop several meters away. My body's racked with intense pain. A red curtain covers my eyes. I try to brush it off, and my hand comes away slick with blood. I grip my teeth against the pain and lift my head. Mayuri's lying on the pavement a few meters away. I reach out to her. No response. Mayuri's motionless. No! Did the impact kill her? This can't be happening! The car that ran us over, a white van, pulls up. The door opens and out steps
動きは止めたわ。
Kiryu Moeka. Her again! She knew the exact moment to be here in order to run over poor Mayuri.
岡部君。いえ、岡部倫太郎は確保。
She's talking to someone on her phone. Has she been tracking us this whole time?
警察に連絡して。椎名真由里が死んだ。
She looks down at me with her eyes cold enough to freeze my blood.
なんで殺すんだ。なんで。
あなたが逃げるからよ。
くそ。
Mustering my strength, I leap up and throw myself at Moeka. She goes down hard. I hear her head smack against the pavement. I stand up and look around. Moeka's dazed and unable to stand, but I see CERN agents making their way towards us through the crowd. I've got to get out of here. I take a step. A sharp pain stabs through my body. The crash must have broken a bone in my leg. It doesn't matter. I have to get to the lab and time leap again. That's the only way to save Mayuri. I look back at the site of the accident. Moeka slowly regaining her feet, but Mayuri remains limp and motionless on the road. It breaks my heart to leave Mayuri lying there, but I have no choice. I have to go. Back to the lab. Fighting the pain in my broken leg, I managed to drag myself back to the lab. Surprisingly, CERN's men didn't chase me. Nobody's at the lab when I arrive. Only the lights are still on. Relieved that Kurisu and Dutter haven't returned, I head straight to the development room. I remember to break into the Brontube workshop to turn on the 42-inch CRT. My body's drenched in sweat and I can't stop shivering. Everything hurts, especially my right side where the car hit me. If I'm not careful, I might lose consciousness. My vision's blurry. It's hard to focus. My left arm's numb and I can barely move. But still, I force myself to activate the 68,000 and input the settings. I'm gasping for breath like a wounded animal. The sound of my heartbeat fills my ears. Mayuri! They killed her again. I failed to protect her. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry. Choking back my tears, I frantically pound on the keyboard. Police sirens echoed in the distance. Morka hit Mayuri in front of hundreds of witnesses. They'll probably take her in for questioning. Even if CERN bails her out somehow, she should be stuck for at least a couple hours. The real problems are men. Those mercenaries, or whatever they were, CERN's hit squad. Why didn't they come after me? It should have been easy for them to catch me, injured as I am. I need to hurry. If they show up here, they'll kill me for sure. Settings complete. I put on the headgear. I'll get blood on it, but that doesn't matter. A surge of anxiety washes over me. What if the time leap fails? What if my memories are corrupted? I might forget who I am. I might lose myself. Should I really use the machine? I curse my weakness. This can't be allowed to happen. No risk is too great. I'll save Mayuri, whatever it takes. I alone have the power to change the past. What am I waiting for? Swallowing my fear, I activate the time leap machine. A screeching in my ears, needles stabbing into my brain, 1,000 emotions flooding my senses. The world bends, pulses, and then returns to normal. The pain of my wounds has vanished like magic, replaced by piercing pain in my brain. I fight back a wave of nausea and take stock of the situation. I'm sitting on the sofa with the phone in my ear. Another successful time leap. That makes 3 so far. It looks like the time leap machine works perfectly. I'm sure it would boost Kurisu's confidence if I told her. But that will have to wait until Mayuri's out of danger. I stand up and look around the lab. Kurisu, who is dozing off next to me, wakes up with a jerk of the sound of my voice.
大声出さないでよ。徹夜明けなんだから、少し休ませろ。
マユリはどこだ。
いきなりなんぞ。マユ氏ならルカ氏のところ行くって言ってたじゃん。
Damn, she already left? I should call or send a mail. Alright, I have the option here to call Lukako, do nothing, or call Mayuri. Now, the path is the same if you call Mayuri or don't do anything. But if you call Lukako, something else might occur. I'm actually gonna call Lukako here. Click the spotlight if you want to see the alternate scene. Ready? Oh wait, wrong time. Haha! I need to get in touch with her somehow! Yeah, I know. That was a stupid error by yours truly. Here he comes.
はい、漆原です。
ルカ子、俺だ、岡部だ。
岡部さん、どうしたんです？
そこにマユリはいるか？いたら代わってくれ。
はい、ちょっと待ってくださいね。トゥットゥルー、マユシーです。オカリンどうしたの？
Finally, I've managed to get a hold of Mayuri. This will give us hours to spare.
お前今どこだ？柳林神社か？
そうだよ。
今からそっちに行く。いいか？絶対にそこから動くなよ。
なんで？
一体何の騒ぎ？
Kurisu's eyes are half asleep.
ダル、それに助手よ。二人とも今すぐここを出て、できるだけ秋葉から遠くに逃げろ。ただし、電車は絶対に使うなよ。
なんだと？
できれば普段行かないような場所に隠れて一晩過ごすんだ。分かったな？
一晩過ごすとか。つまり僕とマキセ氏はラブホテルでハーハーするんですね。わかります？
黙ってろ変態。
Kurisu gets up.
岡部、どういうことよ？
いいから言う通りにしてくれ。事情は後で話す。いいか？絶対に戻ってくるなよ。
I thought of having them take the time leap machine, but the microwave's pretty heavy to carry around, and it's that time machine that Molka's really after, not Mayuri. If it will guarantee everyone's safety, I'd rather just abandon the time machine. I dash out of the lab, disregarding Kurisu's and Daru's demands for an explanation. I was right to borrow Suza's bicycle. I arrive at the shrine far earlier than if I had run. Mayuri and Lukako are in front of the main building.
Mayuri!
Okabe!
Mayuri waves her hand happily. Lukako bows her head.
もしかしてオカリンも援護に来てくれたの？
援護？
ルカちゃんにコスを着てもらうためのね、説得だよ。まゆりちゃん、本当に無理だよ。僕恥ずかしくて絶対着られないから。ねえオカリン、ルカちゃんを説得するいい方法何かないかな？マユシーにはルカちゃん攻略法がもう思いつきません。僕本当に無理なんです。まゆりちゃんちっとも諦めてくれなくて。
Tears well up in my eyes. I grit my teeth and resist the urge to cry. To see them talking, so happy and carefree. The thought that this peace would last forever. Well, I thought. And yet...
すまない。二人とも。コスプレの話は後だ。
I grab Mayuri's hand.
マユリ、荷物を置け。ルカ子に預けるんだ。
どういうこと？
これから遠出する。
旅行かな？旅行？
Lukako's face turns red.
二人で行くんですか？
そうだ。
I'll let Lukako misunderstand whatever she wants. I take off running, half dragging Mayuri along. We get out of Manseibashi Bridge. I need to figure out where we go from here. It's 4:30. We should still have about 3 hours before the trains stop. If we wanted to, we could even leave from Akiba Station. But that seems like a bad idea. Morka and her men might already be there. We should board from another station. If the plan is to head for Yokohama, the fastest way is to take the bullet train from Tokyo Station. To get to Tokyo Station without passing through Akihabara Station means boarding at Kanda or Awajicho. We could walk to Tokyo Station in an hour, but I don't want to waste that much time.
オカリ、遠出ってどこ行くの？どうして急に？
俺たちはセルンに命を狙われている。
え？どういうこと？
詳しい説明は後だ。とにかく秋葉を離れるんだ。
I decide on Awajicho Station and start running. If we can make it to Yasukunidori, the station's right there. But I freeze whenever I see a group of 6 men walking just ahead. Are they Morika's men? I don't know, but we can't take the chance. I pull Mayuri into a nearby alley. How many men does CERN have? When did these patrols start? Are they watching stations besides Akihabara? I have no way of knowing. To make matters worse, CERN's assassins are indistinguishable from ordinary shoppers at a glance. You can tell they're different when you get close, but by then it's too late. They could be anyone. Japanese, foreigners, anyone. Damn, what should we do? Should we take the shortest route and risk being seen? Or should we stick to the back streets and stay out of sight? The fear on Mayuri's face gives me my answer. I can't expose her to danger. We have to take the back roads. It doesn't have to be Awajicho. Any subway station is fine, as long as we can get out of Akiba. Staying out of sight is more difficult than I expected, and the subway's farther away than I thought. I misjudged the distance to the station. Maybe we should double back to Suehirocho station, or would that take us too close to the lab? There's no way of knowing where CERN's men could be. I pull Mayuri into the entrance of a nearby building. Several young men pass by. They're not particularly fit, and each of them is carrying a bag full of computer parts. I don't think they're the enemy, but I can't be sure. The only way to be safe is to treat every group of men as a potential threat. At this rate, it'll be night before we escape Akiba. Maybe we should just go for it and hope to get lucky. I look up the closest station with my phone. Ochanomizu and Suehirocho are about equidistant from our current position. Suehirocho takes us near the lab, but Ochanomizu is on the same line as Akihabara. It might be affected by the bomb threat. An impasse.
Mayuri, しばらくここでじっとしていてくれ。
どこ行くの？
駅の出の道に敵がいないか見てくれ。
And while I'm at it, scout the streets between here and there. We'll need to use the shortest route.
マユシは置いていかれたくないな。
すぐ戻る。30分しても戻らなかったな。誰かに連絡を取って秋葉から離れる。クリスか鈴葉あたりがいいだろう。
そんなこと言っちゃやだよ。絶対戻ってきてね。でないとマユシは何が何だか。
分かった。絶対戻る。
I leave Mayuri behind and run to Ochanomizu station. Wary of surrounding eyes, I scout the streets and decide that the back alleys of Kandamiyojin will give us the best chance of avoiding detection. Once we make it to the station, we'll just have to pray. I race back to the spot I left Mayuri.
Mayuri!
She's not there! For an instant, I think I got the place mixed up, so I checked the entrance of the next building. But Mayuri isn't there either! She's gone! At first, I assume Mayuri just wandered off somewhere, like she often does, but then another possibility dawns on me. Could CERN's men have found her? Abducted her? Would they do that? Mocha said that Mayuri was unnecessary. That's why she killed Mayuri first. So why would they kidnap her? I don't know. The only thing I know is that Mayuri's gone. I knew I shouldn't have left her alone. I should have stayed by her side no matter what. Still, I can't give up. I scoured the neighborhood for Mayuri. But when I fail to find any trace of her, I return to the lab in despair. We need to talk. Heading over now, okay? It's a mail from Moika. She's on her way here. When she says we need to talk, she probably means I'm gonna kidnap you and take the time leap machine. Just as I'm about to delete the mail out of frustration, I notice there's an image attached. I swallow and open it. It's a scan of a foreign newspaper article. There's a rough black and white picture along with the date. February 28th, 1961. 50 years ago. It's not in English. I look at the picture.
ゼリーマン
The pictures of a jellyman embedded in the wall of a house. Wait. Mayuri! A screeching fills my ears, needles stab into my brain. The shock lasts for an instant, then the pain is gone. A wave of nausea hits me, vomit back flows into my mouth. I swallow it back, my throat burns. I leapt immediately after seeing the photo. I couldn't accept it, not even for a second. In the 20 minutes I took my eyes off Mayuri, she was captured by Molka's men. They took her to France and stuck her in the LHC. They sent her through their unstable black hole 50 years into the past. It wasn't an experiment. It was just a warning. A threat. How could anyone do such a thing? Now that I've recovered slightly from the shock, I realize that Mayuri was probably still alive when Molka sent me that picture. A flight to France takes at least 12 hours after all. Even so, her fate was already decided. Perhaps that 50-year-old newspaper article appeared out of thin air the instant they found her. I don't know why her cause of death changed. I don't have time to investigate. The only choice is to run. Our enemies don't consider Mayuri human. I'm filled with rage. I want to kill them. I won't let them have her. The clock shows 5:05 p.m. Not as much time was left as I thought. Come to think of it, the time leap machines should still be able to send me back to noon at least. I'll do that next time. A chill runs up my spine. What am I thinking? Next time? Have I already given up on saving her this time? I shake my head to clear it of negative thoughts. Judging by the time, Mayuri's already left the shrine, so I can't contact her until she gets back to the lab. All I can do now is wait. As before, the Braun Tube workshop closes early. Mayuri appears as Suzuha and Mr. Braun are leaving. We run through Kanda Myoji's back streets to Ochanomizu Station, taking only minimal precautions to avoid attracting attention. We have to get there before the Sobu line shuts down. We manage to make it to the station without being stopped, but when we get there, I see a group of men waiting by the entrance. They look like CERN. Change of plans. We turn around and head to the Shin Ochanomizu subway station. We arrive at the station later than I intended. I don't usually come here, so I got lost. I stare nervously at the platform clock. According to the scrolling display, the Yamanote, Keihin Tohoku, and Sobu lines have already suspended operations. Wait, it looks like the Chiyoda line has too. It must be protocol to assume that nearby stations may be threatened, even stations on unconnected lines. Damn! Mayuri hasn't said a word about my strange behavior. This is the third time I let her on this escape, but each time she follows me without complaint. Does she really trust me that much? Maybe she can feel my desperation. That's why I want so badly to save her. We've been together for more than a decade. She's like a little sister to me. I'll leap as many times as it takes. Mayuri tilts her head quizzically. I realize that I'm staring at her.
ね、オカリ、マユシーは聞きたいこといっぱいあるけど、今は我慢しとくね。その代わり、終わったらね、全部聞かせてほしいです。
なあ、約束する。
Mayuri smiles happily at that answer. That's right. While we wait for the train, I should ask Mayuri about her whereabouts today. If If I have to leap again, I'll need all the information I can get.
お前ルカ子に会った後はどこに行っていた？
吹雪ちゃんからメールがあってね、マユシーのコスにちょっと問題発生しちゃってたのです。糸がほつれてるところがあったんだ。それを直しに。
吹雪ちゃんというのはどこに住んでいる？
住んでるっていうかね、今ちょうど UPX のスタベまで来てたのです。
So that's where she was. Just then an announcement plays over the PA system. The subway is resuming normal operations. About 20 minutes had passed since we arrived. I didn't expect to be stuck here that long, but it's okay. Right now, Mocha should be in Akihabara, heading to the lab. Everything's gonna be alright. While waiting for the train, I examined the route map on the station's notice board. We can transfer to an overland train on Yoyogi Uehara. It'll take a while, but it'll take us all the way to Odawara. Another announcement. Our train's arriving. I can hear the rumbling and see the lights at the end of the tunnel. Mayuri and I are standing just behind the white line. I reach for her hand, meaning to make a dash for the train when the doors open. But I guess there's no hurry now. I'll let my hand fall to my side, empty. The roar comes closer. Mayuri's saying something. I can't quite hear her over the train. Suddenly, Mayuri disappears. There she is, leaning out over the tracks. She's off balance as if she stumbled or someone pushed her. She seems to hang in there for a moment and then the train comes screaming into the station. I hear a sound from under the train. I can't describe it, but it makes me instantly nauseous. Sparks fly as the train slams on the brakes. The people on the platform scream. I turn to where Mayuri was just a moment ago. There stands a familiar girl. Tiny, adorable, a cute black rabbit pouch slung over her shoulder. Tenoji Nae. She looks up at me. Her eyes are wide. Her lips tremble. She stares at me for a few more seconds, as if waiting for me to say something, then turns and runs away. The platform's in chaos. The PA informs us that there's been a personal injury accident. Nai's already gone. I don't go after her. Instead, I peek timidly through the gap between the train and the platform. One side of the track is awash of red. My mind's blank. I can't think. I don't even remember how I got back to the lab. Mocha's group should have come and gone, but the time leap machine's still here. I guess I should be grateful. It takes longer than usual to set up the machine. For some reason, I have trouble recalling my own phone number. At last it's ready. Now take me back!